You need to call Mike too, see if he can come out tonight.
Mike.
There's a.
Oh yeah. You know, he probably ain't gone. I don't know. He might.
You smoke, don't?
Not really.
Oh yeah.
Not really. Nah.
Next time, yeah, Mike.
Yeah.
Next time.
Not really. What's happening? What's happening? It's your boy, Collar Pot Sean, here with a little paint where it ain't. A little seasoning with some reasoning. How y'all doing out there, good people? It's good to have y'all back in the Soundproof Hung Room. Before we get started, I just want to throw something out there. We got close to 700 subscribers. It don't really add up with the views, and that's okay. But what I need for y'all to do to help us out, and it's free, like, subscribe, and share. We'd appreciate it. And that'll give us a little bit more space to give y'all a little bit more of what we got. Anyway, 18th, what's happening?
What up, dog? What up, dog? What up, dog? You know it is a holiday weekend.
A holiday weekend?
Oh, for sure. It should be on everybody's calendar. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday was my birthday. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we old, so we only do 1 or 2 days and we wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we go wrap. Yesterday was my birthday. I celebrated it the way I wanted to.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
You know, so much love I got. I appreciated it. You know, to the point I just stopped answering my phone, stopped replying, brother. I got tired of saying thank you and then, you know, answer the phone. I just stopped.
So people like you out there.
That's what I said. I said, damn.
Whoa.
I thought, man, you was beefing.
Whoa.
No. You know what I'm saying? But no, I appreciate all the love everybody showed me, man, for my birthday. Here we are. We early because we got some things to do later.
Yeah. Yes.
So let's get it going. Let's get out of here.
Let's get this thing rolling. Hola, mi gente.
Uh-oh. I know who that is.
Main man, Afro-Rican. What's happening? We gonna see you later on anyway.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you. In fact, I'll holler at you later. I ran into some of his folks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something crazy. But anyway, man, yeah, we gonna go on and get into this thing. We gonna go on and start off. What we doing now, bro? What we doing? Let's go now. Let's go now.
My bad.
All right. We're gonna get right into it. In the news, we're going to keep it light this time. Man, ain't got no legal or lawful stuff. We just going to talk about some things that happened out and that was on the national stage. We're going to say national stage.
Right.
One thing I want to address, the first thing I want to address is the Angel Reese post-game interview when they lost last week. What were your thoughts on
that? Hey, man, I talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? I talk a lot of ish. You know what I'm saying? They're all in fun. Mm-hmm. My friends, you know, some people I don't even know. We might just get into a conversation. But once I take that road, man, I can't. My skin got to be tough, and you know what they say to me, as long as it ain't disrespectful. Mm-hmm. And I think with the loss, it comes a time where you got to remember the energy you had when you won.
Okay.
I do agree with Ocho, the guy from.
Yeah, he got a lot of slack for that.
Do I think he went overboard? A little bit. You know what I'm saying? We still got to protect our queens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But she said a lot when she won. Mm-hmm. She said a lot. She did a lot. Mm-hmm. And when she lost, now you want us to know all the pressures that come with you losing or playing. Mm-hmm. But when you won, I mean, was all this stuff still happening? Or like, it's just... I don't want to see nobody cry because they being abused, they being harassed and nothing. But I think it came because it came with her losing.
Right.
So she wanted to let us know why she was what she was going through. But I didn't understand the timing and nothing like that because a couple of days later, she was back to talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Talking about everybody, you know, make sure the apology is the same as the disrespect and all that because they ranked her number 5 in the mock draft. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just which one are we dealing with? You dealing with your issues, or you back on like we give people space to be them, but when you want our sympathy and all that, what are we supposed to do with this? Mm-hmm. You know, so I just was like, hey man, you lost, man, go home.
It's funny you said that, and I felt bad for feeling pretty much the same way.
Yeah.
I did.
I don't want to feel bad.
I felt bad because it was just because, and then I would see that. Come on, Greg, calling me now during the show. Anyway, I saw the way they were, and my first thought was, had you won, had we heard, would we have heard all of this stuff? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so I get that you've been dealing with it, and of course, the media has definitely put her in that box.
They did.
Unrightfully so.
She accepted it.
You accepted it, and you rolled with it because you've been winning.
Right.
So now that I lost, now you have to hear everything I've been dealing with, because I guarantee had you won, it would have been more like in your face. I did it in spite of.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm with you, bro. We routed it. I brought a shotgun with you.
Right. So it's almost like you got to use the same energy on both sides of the table, you know, and that's why I kind of, when everybody, and again, I've said it before, the world is pussy now, and we give a lot of allowances to a lot of things that I feel like we shouldn't.
Right.
And so, as an athlete, as a competitor,
right,
it's natural to have that edge, that push, talking trash on the court and this and that. And to continue to want to compete.
Right.
But also when you lose, there is that side to where, because, you've seen men come on the microphone and cry and this and that, but their loss is about the loss.
And that's was my thing. I'm like, well, where's coming from?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was just like, all right.
It's about the loss.
I just think the brother went a little bit too, he was too animated for me. Like, oh, come on, bro. You say what you going to say and get out of the way. You spent like 4-5 minutes.
Yeah.
Tearing her down. And I didn't appreciate that. But when you win, you win. You lose, you got at it. Especially when you talking.
Right.
Like when she would have won, if she wouldn't have said nothing, I might have been like, dang, like you were going through all that.
Right.
But you was so, you was in our face with it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like when you lost, all of a sudden, you Candace Owens out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your favorite person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was just like, nah, I ain't going for this. You know what I'm saying?
And Acho, his name is Acho.
Yeah, Acho.
They got on him. Ryan Clark jumped on him. Matt Barnes jumped on him.
Yeah.
And he actually did the right thing. Usually he's an asshole about it, but he did the right thing, and he came out and he specifically said, you know what? He said, the people that respectfully addressed me, I appreciate it, I accept it, and we can have that dialogue. He said, the people that don't really mean much, I'm not.
I don't blame him. Yeah. It's like somebody say something to me. You could come to me and be like, hey, dog.
Right.
But I'm like, man, I don't fuck with that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, I get that.
So,
Ryan Clark had to backpedal a little bit, too, with him and Tiki Barber got into it,
Yeah, I didn't see him backpedal. I saw him. He did?
Yeah. He was, because he was talking like he really wanted the scene. So Tiki was like, well, you know where I'm at.
See, I didn't see the escalation.
And then next thing you know, it came a whole paragraph where I was talking about verbally. I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't the energy you gave off. You know what I'm saying? So I like Ryan Clark, but sometimes, you got to be mindful. You talking about another grown man.
Yeah.
So I'm with it.
Yeah. All right. That was one thing. We're going to stay in college sports. Just read an article about an college player who has been the AP Player of the Year.
He was voted the AP Player of the Year.
Twice. Zach Edey. He's upset because he is Canadian. He's playing here in the States, and he's not eligible to get the NIL.
Can't get he can't get none of it.
How you feel about that?
That's terrible because he made the school so much money. They put him on TV. He made broadcasting channels so much money.
Right.
And he can't benefit off. It's like going backwards for him.
Right.
When all these athletes was, the likeness of them, but they couldn't get no money off of it. You know what I'm saying? Man play in America.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all let him come and play, get an education, but y'all treating him like, hey, some other people that went through is still going through some things out here. You know what I'm saying? That you can come do this, that, and the other, but you can't get no money. Just like I read an article at the LSU thing where I think it was the mayor or the governor was like, if you don't stand for the national anthem, you can lose your scholarship. I'm like, I hope that ain't. I didn't research it like I should have. I hope that ain't true. You know what I'm saying? But it probably is. You know what I'm saying? But as far as that, man, that's they need to address that. Like, cause he's he played his butt off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think he kind of clumsy, but
Mm-hmm.
The scoreboard don't show that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? If somebody want to pay that man, why that man can't get no money?
Yeah. And I was reading through some of the comments, and people was like, "Oh, that's the law, and this, and that. It's American." And I was just like, the same people that say that, do you know that we're, as far as the law is concerned, 3/4 of a human?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
Come on,
lynching
man.
was just abolished in 75
No,
or
you
something.
can still be. Don't say that. 'Cause you can still be lynched. I think with Alabama, they just extended it. They didn't.
Oh,
they
see.
didn't. Yeah. So,
So
I mean,
if we're going to go by the law, you need to
or
think
that's
about
what it was
that.
hanging. That's what it was. Hanging.
Hanging, yeah, hanging.
Yeah, you can still be hung in Alabama.
You got to look at the law. The law does not
Right.
mean it's right.
So, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, and everything you said, that was my first thought process, especially when the NIL jumped off for the college students. I always looked at college, even on the educational level. To me, college is a huge institution that capitalizes off of everybody.
Absolutely.
Not even middle class, lower class.
Absolutely.
They capitalize off of everybody, because there's no way in the world I should go to school, have to buy a book that's $200-$300.
Absolutely.
I don't get that. But even more so with the athletes who are bringing in so much money into these schools, and they can't get any kind of money.
Shout out to the O'Bannon brothers, because Ed was the first one to bring that to the forefront when he sued NCAA basketball. Remember that?
Yeah.
So yes, that's how the NIL actually, you know what I'm saying, came about. You know,
and it was
years apart, but
it was years apart.
Yeah, but he actually got it going. So so my question to the NCAA is, should it be American NIL, or is it for a college athlete? Like, he's a college athlete.
And
you know
that's
what I'm
why
saying?
he need to be
Absolutely.
paid.
He need to get his money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's about all I got on the news. You got something on the news?
You know, Keith Lee he came back.
Okay.
Let's talk about Keith Lee.
Keith Lee.
Atlanta, I need y'all to stand tall.
Keith Lee.
Y'all did good April 3rd. He came back. He had a food truck event where the food trucks that showed up had to give everything away. Wasn't no money being exchanged to nobody. It was like you had to do it for free. And Atlanta showed up and showed out. You know what I'm saying? And you should be proud to say I'm from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? With that being said and done right then, because it was actually a good thing. You know, at first he thought he was gonna have a little static. And people thought they was going. I
saw the precautionary video.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And I was just like, damn, that man.
he's standing on business, as y'all like to say.
You know what I'm saying? But Atlanta showed up and showed out, man. So everybody, take a bow. If you're a native of Georgia, especially Atlanta, you know they showed up and showed out in the right way, and he couldn't do nothing but give kudos to where they needed to be. So I'm happy.
Okay, I guess
black people.
They was ready to step up this time.
I mean, but I watching the video. He thought he was gonna have some more static out there that day, but he didn't. And salute to all the people that showed up and gave that stuff away, man. Because for a business, especially an independent like that, take a lot to give them stuff away, man.
Yeah.
But they blessings gonna come to them.
Yeah, definitely, and that's why I was explaining. When he first came, how people was down on him. A lot of people downed him because of his honest opinions, his honest critiques. It wasn't like he was just making up stuff. He was showing what was happening. But the flip side of that is, because of his influence, he's going to bring you tenfold.
Absolutely.
Once he comes there, because he got something.
As he give you a good review,
if you get a good review, that meaning you doing what you should be doing, he's going to give you tenfold.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's why I was always for him, man. Just like I said, I didn't see this other one when he came through, but I saw the precautionary. I
just seen it this
video.
morning on the treadmill.
I saw the precautionary. And he was like, "Hey, I got my
security.
people with me, because we don't want to go there, but if we got to, we got our people."
Yeah, I had to look at his background. They say he used to fight MMA.
It was an MMA fight.
Yeah, so I don't think you want to run up on him.
Nah, you don't do that.
That's all I got on that, man.
What is some office opening up? What was the?
I got my brother House. A lot of people know my brother Daniel House. If you work with me, you know him, and he's always got his hands in something. Especially he got a Corvette movement where they go around passing out to the homeless and things like that. Like I forget to always mention it, but for himself, he's a businessman on his own. He's a very good entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? He has a business. Let me see if I can look it up right quick. About restoring It's a scalp micropigmentation clinic. He's opening up his first scalp micropigmentation clinic in Atlanta. You know, if you know anybody, you know, I'm not too versed on it. I just want to give a shout out to my brother. Look it up. If it might be something that you're into, there you go. I just gave you the plug. You know what I'm saying? So you can go holler at him. He's opening it up next month in Atlanta. So check that out if you got time. I'll post what he posted on I think it's called when you're on IG at
IG,
or whatever. But I'll post it in the group, and anybody that's looking, you know, get some pigmentation, micro scalp pigmentation done, there you go.
All right.
Shout out to him.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for the news. I want to start off where we left off last week. We usually go on this on the back end, but I want to kind of start on it. Last week we were talking about dating the older you get. And the question was, do you think men or women have it harder for dating the older you get?
Women will get more aggressive as you get older because they know what they want. They know what they need you for as far as an established woman.
And that makes a difference.
Man, we just gonna... Man, I think men are just the same all the way through. Like, we either gonna deal with the issues that you come with, unless you're a younger woman, you ain't been, you ain't got too many issues by that time, or we just not. Definitely down here in Atlanta, it's very easy because there's a woman on every corner. You know what I'm saying? Looking for a man, and you know, vice versa. I think as we get older, I'm gonna say women still got it hard, man. I think they probably still got it harder than us, man, because they got to dig through a lot of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Us, we'll take one eye, you know what I'm saying, bad limp. We roll it, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it don't really matter, you know what I'm saying?
As long as that thing hit, right?
You know what I'm saying? So, I think women got it a little harder than we do. Like my boy Hub say, time is on our side because, I mean...
Yeah. Chris, I might have to get you to call in on that. I agree with that women have it hard as well.
They probably do, man.
I'm going to say, and I'm going to go even deeper. You kind of scratch the surface. I look at, especially established. When we talk about women that are established, men and women that are established.
Like, for real.
Right? So for a man that's established, he can easily go down another 10, 15 years.
He good.
And his money is going to carry him as far as it needs to go because that's what society has said, that we have to have the money to bring in these and this, and that, right? So a guy is easier. Right. A woman in that same space, when she goes out and say, like, let's say she meets a guy that's into older women, when she get out there, because society has told us we have to be the breadwinners, we have to do this, we have to do that. When she get in a situation and somebody younger, they in competition with her. So now he looking at her with like, she got this, she got that. I don't know. I ain't going to be able to deal with this. She ain't going to be able to do this. Because now you feel like you ain't on top of it.
Right.
And so now that's a struggle she got to deal with versus just being able to come into the fold and we just build together.
Right.
And that's why I feel like women still have it harder than guys do the older we get. What do you say? Women are in the gray area. They can date up and down.
So can men.
They simply have more options.
So can men. Men got great. The options are greater for a man.
The older we get,
that's what I'm saying.
The options get bigger.
It get better as you get older. Better. Yeah,
because I could still date your mama and your daughter. You know, if I'm 55 and I'm well off and established, I could talk to your mama. I could also holler at your 31-year-old daughter.
My brother said something I want him to elaborate on. Kings don't marry queens. That's interesting. I need a little more on that because I want to see where you're going with that. That's an interesting thought. I want to see where you're going with that.
We've had that discussion actually personally, and it makes sense technically. Usually kings end up marrying somebody that was given to them or that was brought up. But in their aristocratic or the royalty families, you don't meet somebody a queen that she can't be a queen.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
unless
okay.
she's a king, unless you marry a king. So he's saying that, always the men is gonna have more.
Oh, okay. I
More
mean, I see the point. I don't know if I 100% agree. I do see the point though.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Women has to choose. Women do have to choose early. Yeah, that I will agree with that.
yeah.
In the early years, they can do their thing. Once gravity start kicking in and things like that,
Gotta make some executive
you, you know what I'm
decisions.
saying? Things change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I get that.
yeah,
I get that.
yeah, yeah. All right, moving on along, man. This one is more of things that I've noticed on this app that I keep telling y'all about. This Nextdoor app is it's crazy, but it also gives me a lot of material, but it's real.
Yeah.
There's one story I saw. This lady had her kids and her nephews over, and they was out playing, young kids. They were on skateboards, scooters, and skates and stuff like that. And some teenagers walked by and were kind of saying something to the little kids. So the little kids ran inside and told the mom, there's teenagers out there messing. It was like two dudes. Looked like they was about 14, 15 years old, something like that. So the kids came inside, told their mom. Mom was like, okay. So they stayed in the house. The kids stayed in the house for a little while because they didn't, want to go out there and get in an altercation or anything. And maybe an hour or so later, on her camera, she sees the two teenagers come back and steal like the skates and the skateboard and walk off. And so at this point, what she did was she came to the Nextdoor app and said, people, should I go to the parents or should I just call the police? And it was an interesting question to me because I'm a face-to-face person. So my original thought was, let's go to the parents and talk to them. And then I would see comments that other people were saying, nah, you better call the police. And they would say, it's been situations where I went to the parents and it turned out even more worse than it was because you got to look at, a lot of times, parents are who their kids are. And so it comes to a point to where it's like, okay, should I call the police on this little kid? But if I go talk to the parents and they on the same BS, we not getting nowhere. So how would you handle that situation?
Steps. There's steps. Mm-hmm. I mean, kids are their parents. Younger kids. Yeah. I think as we get older, when we start, using our minds the way we want to use them, I think it changed. As younger kids, yeah, definitely they are who their parents, portray. If you gotta, that's tough, man, because I'm gonna go to the parents first. I would hate to call the police on a kid. Like that would bother me.
Right.
Would I just become the victim of the neighborhood? No. So I'm gonna go to the parents first. Mm. Hoping I got enough evidence where they be like, yo, give it back or whatever. If I can't get none with that, then I'm out. You kind of got my hands tied. Mm. You know what I'm saying? And these day and age, it's a video camera everywhere. You might not even have one on your house. Your neighbor might have one.
Right. Yep.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna try first, man. Like, as neighbors, we should be able to talk to each other, especially, what I'm saying, because we can't beat on each other. You live right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had an issue with one of my neighbors. I just had to keep it 100 with him. Like, what? If you win, I watch you go in the house. If I win, you watch me go in the house. I'm like, so we really can't get to it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just let it go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And at the time, he wasn't trying to hear, but when he realized that I wasn't scared of you, I'm just telling you the facts. Like, you might win with them hands, but how you gonna sleep at night?
Right.
The same on my side. You know what I'm saying? So
What's
it's
your
like,
car gonna look like when you wake up?
I ain't. I'm kicking the door in. Like, I'm. Hey, man, anyway, man. But anyway,
Yeah.
I had to have that conversation with him. In this situation, that when my kids were small, and I would have issues with kids in the neighborhood, too much cussing, they leaving a bunch of trash by my house. I had a relationship with the kids where I could go out there and be like, look, leave it the way y'all found it, or you can't play. My son had a hoop, I don't know, basketball around.
Right.
So like, yo, leave it because it be stuff all on the neighbor's grass and all this cussing. They playing basketball, but kids cuss when they,
Right.
How we was
Yeah,
kids.
we was doing it.
So I had a relationship with the kids where I could go out there and actually be like, hey, that's enough. I heard enough from my window now.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were, sorry about that, and they'll tone it down. But if you don't have that kind of relationship, you kind of got to go to the parents first, man. Like, damn, I would hate to call the cops on a kid, but if you put me in that situation, I'm gonna call them, man.
And this is where when we talk about, I hate to say this, single mothers and 2-parent households with a father in the house, because most of the people that responded, called the police, were women.
We're women, absolutely.
And I understand that from the protection aspect, because if you do go and approach another woman or another parent, it could be a father.
Yeah.
And it get out of hand, she don't really have no real protection.
Yeah.
So their first thought process is to get the police involved. But also to double back to what you said, we as a people have to do better with getting to know our community and the
Absolutely.
people that we live around, and create that environment to where we can talk to the kids, and they know you and they know this, and they gonna respect boundaries.
Right.
If you understand, if you know how kids move, like when I would get my nieces, they knew they could do certain things here that they couldn't do at home, and vice versa. There's some stuff you can't do here that you might get away with at home.
Yeah.
So kids know these boundaries.
Absolutely.
But you got to put them in place.
And they play on it. You know what I'm saying? So and if I think I would tell my lady, if that was a situation, just wait till I get home. Let me deal with that. Don't go knocking on nobody's door. Mm-hmm. Even if, you know what I'm saying,
right.
if it's a girl you know what I'm saying, and then you're not afraid to get involved, let a man handle that. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have a man available, then go straight to the police.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if somebody called me and be like, yo, this dude over here terrorizing my kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to go with you to the house. Let me walk up to the door with you. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there.
No.
Okay, Stanley, talking about stay off your grass. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Let me read what John said. What's happening, Ja? She one of your birthday twin up through there.
For sure.
She said, these kids raggedy. I'm calling the police. And then she went further to say, it's 2-parent households in my neighborhood where the kids were out of control. My neighbor had to take several kids, the parents, to court for vandalism.
Yeah, see, I mean, you run across that, man.
Yeah,
you run across that.
The parents be just as bad as the kids. Like, what do you think they?
Oh man, I got neighbors right now, man. It's showtime. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was the kind of dude that record stuff, oh man, they got into it the other night, man. It was middle of the day, and they knocked my trash can over. You know what I'm saying? So I politely went out there, grabbed my trash can, and let the fight continue. I let the fight continue. Grabbed my trash can and took it to the back, and then I went back in the house.
How many people was out there recording though?
Nobody.
Really?
No, I ain't. My neighbors, they bad. They terrible. You know what I'm saying? Because 2 houses, 2 right across from me too, man. I mean, they using big cuss words. Little kids outside, they big cuss words.
They got the progressive cuss words.
I'm talking about what? You know what I'm saying? And the lady came out the house screaming. Then a lady came out there. They got to in the street. They knocked over their trash can. That wasn't enough. They knocked over mine. I said, wait a minute now. Let me go out. I just went out there and grabbed my trash can, bro. Like, I ain't, y'all to be partying together.
Look what Brian said. Brian said that my neighborhood has a Facebook group. So I'm going to go on and post the videos and add the address to where the kids
You know
live.
what? Mine do. Everybody's doing. I'm on neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes neighborhood's scary to watch, man. You get to see vandalism and kids walking up, messing with your car doors and stuff. You see a lot. You hear a lot too.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? But it's needed this day and age. So if that's the neighborhood watch we got now versus what we had, I'm all for it. Yeah. Post that video if you got a kid acting up, man. Post it.
Yes, indeed. Okay, moving on. The next subject I had that I got off.
I want to go all the way back this up before we go to the next subject.
Okay, go ahead.
Financially, I'm going back to the who is hard to date.
Okay, yeah.
Financially, it's easier for a man. Because physically, I think it'd be harder for a woman because her body changing. If she ain't trying to keep it tight, she lose the appeal. A man can look like anything,
right,
and have some bread and he
He
good
gonna
to
still
go.
get whatever he
So
want.
I think financially, for a man, it's easier. Physically, for a woman, it's harder.
So we still saying the same thing.
I'm
It's
just
harder for a woman.
I think because
to me,
I think if a woman got money,
mm-hmm.
but she looked terrible, I think a man would still pass on it. He'd be like, man, there ain't enough money in the world for me to do that.
Right.
I don't know if women look at it like that. I can't speak for women, but I see a lot in my day to time. I'd be like, what that's about? But
right, why you with that dude?
You know what I'm saying? So I just look at it like that.
That's pretty much how I look at it. You know, again, I just say women got it harder all the way across the board. The older we get, they have it harder to date. You know, financially, physically, because that same because I've heard stories of women that have money, and this not even when they was older. It's just women that's just dating that have money, and when they meet guys are intimidated by their money, and that's just regular.
They can't even have money, you know?
Right? It's almost like I got to done. When Jazz was on the show, you know, with Jabri, shout out Jazz. She talked about how she has a dent in her truck and she won't get it fixed because she
she did
don't want people to look at her like she said she's met guys that were intimidated once they found out who she was.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know, so that's just regular. So the older you get and the more money you got, the more stable you are. A guy gonna be like, now I got to compete with her. Now I got to make more money. You ain't got to do all that.
Yeah, you
just
right
take the relationship.
Man.
You know,
let's go.
So the other thing I saw on Nextdoor, and this one is very important. I'm gonna say the lady's name and the establishment. There was a lot of complaints come on there. A lot of people go on there and they just had their grievances and they say them or whatnot. On this one, as a young lady went on and she had a grievance about this establishment called Freshest Salad Bar. It's off of Calmonton Road. Okay. So she went on and she talked about how she initially patronized them when they first opened up. And I remember when it first opened up, a lot of people were applauding it and also talking about it in the same instance because it's a salad bar in the neighborhood, you know, which you're rarely ever going to hear that. Right. So you got healthy food in the neighborhood. And, of course, when you start talking about eating healthy, you're going to pay a lot more than what you would normally think to pay for food. And so the young lady had talked about how when she first went there, she got this amount and this amount and this amount. She said she just now recently went and she ended up buying 2 salads that came up to $20, and it was way less than what she got like last year when she went. And so she went online and she talked about it. So, of course, she got a lot of people on her side, a lot of people that weren't on her side. Right. And, of course, number one of the complaints was inflation. Of course, things are going to go up, money going to go up because all the resources, we got to pay more for resources. So, of course, if I'm providing a service, I got to go up on my price as well. And it was one guy in particular that just stayed on her, and he was saying, you know, if you already left a bad review on Yelp, because she said she left a bad review on Yelp, why did you come here and also do the same thing? And she got mad and kept going back and forth with this guy. And he was like, okay, lady, have a nice day. Right. Close to the end of the post, the actual owner of the Freshest Salad Bar came on. Her name is Shanda Cadet. And I say her name because, and I don't know if that's her real name, but that was her name on the app. She was very professional on how she responded to the lady. And she started off by saying, you know, I find it.
My bad. Go ahead, dog.
see,
Yo, go ahead.
These your people.
Yeah, they're my people right there.
But she started off and she explained how important it is for us to have healthy food in the neighborhood and in the community. And there are things that come and happen that are out of her control, but she does what she can to make sure that things happen. Because the lady even complained about her container being a black styrofoam. That's not good for, you know, natural environmental stuff. So she went in, and as she was explaining everything, she was also putting her prices up for everything that she charges, which was a great selling point because now we're dealing with drama. What we talked about,
Right.
we're dealing with drama. So now everybody reading, right? So now as you're reading, I'm going to post what we do offer, what we selling, how much this, and that. And she told her, I'm sorry that all these things happen to you. And I'm just telling you that this is why those things happen.
Right.
So the lady came back and said, well, I hope y'all do well, this and that, but I'm not going to support it. And I wonder why y'all had, when I first came, y'all had these containers. Now you got these. She said, well, if you know anything about being a business owner, sometimes things happen and you run out of something, you go and you get something to replace it at that time. And it just so happened you may have come at the time when we didn't have what you had.
That's cool.
And she simply said, hey, again, I apologize for what happened to you. We offer this, and this, prices, all of that. Still selling stuff, beautifully done.
Right.
And then she said, come on back. The next one's on me. And to me, that is where the difference stands between us saying we're going to badmouth this black-owned business and then say they didn't even care about the customer. Now, she's gone above and beyond to extend, even though this lady don't trashed her and all this stuff, to extend herself and say, come on back out here and it's on me. And I think we need more of that when it comes to these black-owned businesses. I know Ja's going to have a lot to say about this.
Ja going in right now.
Yeah. Especially when you're talking about the food industry.
Yeah.
Something that's very tangible right there in your face. A lot of times, hospitality is going to go a long way. Especially when you're dealing, if you're in she has a special niche. There are no other healthy food stores in that area that's offering what she's offering.
Right.
So in order for her to keep that, of course, the cost is going to be higher than the McDonald's next door.
Which is a franchise.
It's going to be way higher, but you're eating healthy now.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to highlight that. Again, it's called Freshest Salad Bar. It's on Campbellton Road, man. So if you over in that area, check it out. They said every review I saw was pretty good. So I'm gonna check it out myself.
Fresh is that same thing at the airport.
I don't know if it's the same one.
If it's the same?
No, I know this because they just started last year.
Okay.
So yeah, I know it's not the same one.
People complain about everything, man. Like people complain about everything. Maybe that ain't your price range for a salad. If $20 too much for you, then just say that.
Yeah.
And go home and make your own salad. Or just go buy the Caesar salad from McDonald's. They still do Caesar salad. Or Wendy's, whoever. It's ain't nobody ever. I mean, people just ain't gonna be happy, man. Like to go in there and do all that complaining and like Josh said, to still say, I wish y'all all success. Do you really?
Right. You don't came and bash us twice.
Yeah. Do you really? I just you had a bad day. You know what I'm saying? And then the lady was kind enough because I wouldn't have. Be honest, man. I wouldn't have told her to come back and it's on me. I wouldn't have said that. And the reason why is your review is I'm not gonna complain to get your review taken down of my restaurant, but you hoping people seen it to keep them from coming to my restaurant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What other reason why?
Yeah.
Why would
you know what I'm saying? Because if it was that bad, you know what I'm saying? You could just do your review. I get it. It's free to do, but your people's reviews they mean a lot. So be careful what you're saying. Just say this will happen on my experience. I'm not like Keith Lee do. Like this is my experience. At first I used to look at it like, man, I ask you can taste buds maybe. You know what I'm saying? But all he doing is saying, like, this is what you can expect. This was my experience, so this is what happened for me.
Right.
I don't think I think this was malicious. Her review, and I wouldn't have offered her to come back. I'd have took it as, you know what, you got it. Right. Thank you for your review. We still gonna be open.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, she don't care about what's in her neighborhood, dog. It's the things you were saying. She don't care about that.
Yeah.
She went in this restaurant. It was bad service. It was bad on her account, and so she went and complained about it. Come on, man. Like, customers are customers, man. I walk in Walmart a lot and I see a lot of bad things. Do I say I ain't coming to Walmart no more? Nope.
Nope. Right back up in the next day if you forgot something.
If I forgot something. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So I mean, I take the good, the bad with a lot of places, man. Have I been to places where I've been like, I don't think I'm coming back? Yeah. I ain't about to go do no review.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hadn't done that.
Now let me go.
And to go to a social
Let me go 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say something. Like I done been there 2-3 times, service been bad every time.
Yeah.
I ain't coming back. That's fair.
And even if I do that, it's usually word of mouth. I'm not going online to do it.
Yeah, like at the point, like some people they go online because they look at it as they was giving awareness. I just think the lady was malicious with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go to Freshness and get me a salad, $20 salad. I see you in payday, something like that. I ain't getting out of that.
I'll wait till my taxes come.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But even in a grocery store, everything you need is expensive. Everything you don't need, when you start going down the aisles, you get that for a deal.
For the low skill.
You know what I'm saying? You stay on the outside of the grocery store.
No, man, that cereal don't jumped up to about $7.
Yeah, cereal ain't good for you, know that way.
I know, but they pumping the price up on the cereal.
I mean, what we were talking about? People trying to boycott Kellogg for the man say cereal cheap to eat, man. That's what he said. You need a meal, man. Get a box of cereal.
Yeah,
that's what the man said. So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right.
She got less food and inflation was real. You know. Yeah, I think everybody giving less food right now for and went up on price. I mean, ain't nothing new.
I mean, it's a salad bar, and they have all fresh ingredients. So you can't expect for them unless they start going to get it from some where they got the steroid fruits and the fake all that, or
So, I mean,
but if it's real and that's what they produce and that's what they push, you can't expect it to be overflowing all the time.
I mean, everything in the world is high. You know what I'm saying? So you couldn't. I don't know why she would expect to go in this salad bar and it might have fell off. I don't know.
She even explained to her the people that actually do health foods don't come to our neighborhood. Exactly. So she literally has to fight to get the things that she get.
Absolutely.
That's why you don't have a Whole Food down here on the south side.
Lady, keep doing what you're doing. That's
what
I
whatever.
said. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, so that's why I had to big her up, and I'm definitely going to go out there and support. Like I said, it's called Freshest Salad Bar off of Campbellton Road.
Absolutely.
Look it up.
Absolutely.
Moving on. This the baby, the big boy right here. Question, it came up, I was having a discussion about my girl, Candace Owens. And it's one of my coworkers, he's a cool dude. And me and him tend to stand on different sides of a lot of conversations, but we always have good debates, good conversations. It never gets heated, but we just hear each other out. And he said one of the biggest problems that we as a people have, black people, is not racism, it's more of our decision making. And I had a lot to say about that. And even when we was talking about it, he was saying, was it our decision making or misled or misplaced passion?
Yeah, energy. Yeah.
Where you stand on that?
I agree. I think we spend a lot of time putting energy in things that really don't make a difference. It's just like table talk. Like look how much we seen about Diddy last week. You know what I'm saying? We spent a lot of energy on that. Like we spend a lot of energy on negative stuff, but we don't put a lot of energy toward things that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like things that we should just read and scroll by. We stop at it. We read the comments. We might make a comment. But things that matter, it all depends on what mood we in to be like, I don't feel like hearing that. You know what I'm saying? Like we use the important things we act like they headaches. But then the nonsense, we say I'm getting out of the real world. So I'm looking at this garbage. You know what I'm saying? That's the most backwards thing ever. Then we want to get somewhere as a people. Like I think we putting our energy and our time as some of the most intelligent people on this earth in the wrong place. I do agree with that. As far as racism, I still don't believe every black person has been in a situation where they could say it was right in their face. You know what I'm saying? Where they really had to deal with it at that moment. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, I agree.
Okay. I would have to say I agree with you on the misplaced passion and what we put our energy to. And it was funny. I ran into a coworker the other day that I hadn't seen in a while, and I know he and I shout out Maurice.
Oh, okay, Big Mo.
Big Mo. Ran into him, and as soon as we see each other, we start talking about Black Power and stuff like that. So he asked me, he said, what you read right now? And I told him, I've been reading this book for a year, but I need to finish it, but I love it every time I read it. It's still The Color of Law.
Yeah.
And he asked me, he said, Sean, let me ask you. He said, every time I ask you about what you're reading, it either has to do with history or critical thinking or psychology type stuff. He said, why do you do that? And I said, well, for me, it started when I was younger. My dad gave me a book when I was on punishment. Our punishment was you couldn't go outside.
Right.
And he made me read a book, Black Like Me. And it was about a white guy that was interested in knowing how a black man lived in the 60s. And he moved to a town where nobody knew him. He painted his face with black shoe polish, and he saw the way that black people were treated. And he really was thrown back by it.
Right.
You know, so for me as I was 12 or 13, it sat with me. So the older I got, when I got in situations that I felt like was bigger than me, I would want to read books about people that did way bigger things that I was going through.
Right.
And so for me, he said, so, you know, again, he was like, so why do you still read those? And I said, for me, it's not me wanting to be a teacher or this and that, but I said, I always want to have the knowledge to be able to plant the seed to somebody else.
Absolutely.
You know, and I say all of that to say this, to go back to the, you know, our misplaced passion. Like you were saying, we get so involved in the negativity, the reality shows, somebody getting caught up in jail, the dope movies.
Right.
And it's good. It's all entertainment, but how much entertainment do you take in versus learning?
Right.
You know, throughout your, let's say, 16-hour day, how much are outside of work? Let's go with 5 hours a day.
Right.
How much of those 5 hours are you learning something or are you being entertained?
That's great. That's a great thing you just said.
You know?
Yeah, that's a great thing.
And so at some point, I want to learn something every day, even if it's for an hour.
Right.
Let me learn something. You know, that way when I do have a discussion and it comes up and I could tell you, boom, you know, the insurance companies didn't like black people for the longest. You know, all these FHA and all that stuff, they hated black people. We couldn't get houses because of FHA. Mm-hmm. But this is something we wouldn't know unless somebody was like, oh, go read Color of Law. So that's why I like to read those things. So I agree with you on that. The racism aspect, I feel like, even though you weren't touched personally, systematically, it has touched all of us.
You're right.
And I was explaining to him, and it was funny because he was saying, I grew up in the hood, and I did this and I did that to make sure that my son didn't do this. I said, and I get that. I said, that makes you an outlier. But I said, if we're all a part of our environment, right, and we all go with our environment, we're never going to excel.
That's great.
So I said, that means you took a stance to say, I'm going to do better, meaning it wasn't given to you.
Right.
Okay, and I said, for a white boy in the same situation, he could just follow the same course that his dad did, and they would be just fine. And he was like, yeah, you make sense there. You know, so it was like, systematically, things affect us whether we know it or not. But as it being our environment, we accept it. Right. And until you know better, you're not going to do better. Okay. You know, so that's why I kind of feel more like, not saying that racism is everything, but I think it has a lot to do with what's already in place, and what we feel like is what's holding us back is something that was way before us. Okay. You know, that you got to look outside of that scheme. So that was my thought on that. What, you got something else?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, not on that. We're going to move on.
Yeah,
this might be it for us. Good Times has a reboot coming. It's going to be on Netflix. It's animated. I looked at the trailer. Yo, this might be the most stereotypical show I ever seen, man. This is bad.
I'm glad you bought. I am
Like,
so glad.
this is bad. I was like, yo, this is bad. I understand some people these days, they say they can't watch Good Times because it never seems like they were ever gonna get out. You know what I'm saying? This is bad, man. This animated. It's 2024. This what y'all came up with, a Good Times reboot, and they still in the projects. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is bad, man. Like, this is bad. Like, I understand people got to get checks because some of the people that signed on to help, some names. I'm just like, dang, you signed on for this? But yeah, they've just voiceovers. I get it, but this is bad, man. And they got a boycott going. Like, these are things we need to make a stance on.
Right.
And they just asking people not to watch it. I am definitely on for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's bad, man. Like, I'm looking at this like they got a baby that's a dope dealer. Like, it's bad, dog. I was just like, what is this? So, anybody, interested, go check out the trailer and you make your own decision. And then if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. You might decide, it's just a cartoon. It ain't that bad. It's bad, man. This is terrible. I was like, wow.
It's funny you said that. I saw a few pieces on this. I was one of those people that never looked at Good Times. I didn't like it because they were always in the hood, and it just never made me feel good. It wasn't that funny to me. Of course, it was a couple of life lessons in there, but it just never appealed to me. I don't know.
That's my shit.
It just never did. But what I did find out, two things. One of the producers or directors that worked with Aaron McGruder was signed on to do this Good Times reboot, and he was like, he started reading the scripts and stuff, and he said, "Nah, I can't do this." Yeah. He was like, "Nah, y'all way off track. I ain't gonna be a part of this."
Yeah, they talked to Bernice and a Bernadine, ain't her name Bernadine? Thelma.
Yeah.
They talked to her and James John Almost. James Almost. James Amos, the daddy.
His name John though.
John.
John Amos.
I thought James or John. One of
James is in the shop.
Yeah, right.
See, I don't watch Good Times. I know though.
And they said, nah. Yeah. Like, he got fired because of this. So you think he gonna sign on for a reboot?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think they got her. Right, if I'm correct, they got her for a couple voiceovers. But she said at the time, I don't think she knew what they were doing with it. So she was like, dang. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's bad, man. Like, this is bad. But like I said, if your mind that open to want to watch something like that, then you go right ahead. I'm not signing on for that, man. Like, that's bad. Like, people ask me about all these dope shows, like, what do you watch? And of course they assume I was a BMF fanatic. I'm like, I've never seen an episode. I looked at it this morning, and I was like, I see why people, you know what I'm saying, watch it. I mean, I'm watching it for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? So I started watching it this morning, and I was just like, I just want to see how they portrayed the Detroit part of it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because when they come down here, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But, okay. You know what I'm saying?
The second part that came out about the Good Times thing, the actual creator of Good Times was a white guy. Yeah. Norman Lear. He did The Jeffersons, What's Happening in Good Times. Yeah. What I just recently found out was he stole those ideas from a black man. Mm-hmm. The black man was able to prove it. Mm-hmm. They ended up giving this black man, I don't know his name, they ended up giving this black man $1 million. This is back in the late 60s or early 70s, I believe, or mid 70s. So that's a lot of money. And they also gave him, he was supposed to have creating process, over the seasons, the writings, and stuff like that. And of course, they wrote him out in one season. Yeah. So after one season, he was just left with his $1 million, right. And they took the shows and just ran with it. Right. So that in itself should tell you a lot about America and how we operate based off of people stealing from us. When Flex was here, he talked about how we create everything and they take it and they make money off of it and we get pennies off of it.
Yeah.
You know, but that was very alarming to me to find out that those shows were all stolen from somebody.
Yeah.
By this white man that they praise for creating all of these shows. So, yeah, I'm not interested in a Good Time cartoon. I won't be watching it. I didn't even watch the trailer.
Man, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So, yeah, it ain't for your boss. So, I ain't messing with it. But, y'all do what y'all want to do out there, man. You got anything else for we mosey on up out there, mud?
If anybody want to watch a good movie, watch American Fiction.
I'm still trying to see that. I want to see that.
American Fiction is a very good movie, man, especially for intellectual.
Yeah.
If you're a person that want to watch movies and like into the words more than action and stuff, very good movie. Watch American Fiction.
That's how I was gonna stream that.
Other than that, I ain't got nothing, man. I'm still I'm kind of recovering from yesterday and getting ready for the night. You know what I'm saying? Little intimate gathering of friends. You know what I'm saying? We about to go and put some smoke in the air. But other than that, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all once again keeping that chat room on fire. Check out all our episodes on YouTube. They're all live. Also, join the group on Facebook. We get a lot of great conversation and interaction in the group on Facebook under the same name, Soundproof Hung Room. Again, you in here. We know y'all. Y'all know us. Tell some people that don't. Let's keep making this thing grow.
Right.
We appreciate y'all, man. We gonna keep doing what we do. We love y'all. Y'all hold it in the road.
Hold it in the road. This is our last Saturday show.
Oh, yeah.
Next week we will start recording. I think we discuss Mondays.
Yeah, probably Mondays.
So it might be breakfast with Soundproof, or at least lunch with Soundproof starting Monday.
Yeah.
Next Monday.
This
is our last Saturday.
Yep.
So we holler at y'all.
Be easy.